Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. This is our first episode of the series and we'll cover the sanding and cleaning of the topper. For those of you that are new in here, feel free to click on that card that appears in the top right corner of your screen. It is a link to the playlist and contains all the videos loaded until now. Without further ado, here's the video. Well, pretty much this is the topper. A couple of my family members and my son helped me get it into the backyard. They had to lift it over the fence, which was not an easy task. This topper is not on the lightweight category by any means. I bought the topper a few months ago for $50. I came across an ad on Craigslist or OfferUp, I don't remember. It was originally listed at $450. By the time I saw it, it was already discounted to $350. At that point I was debating back and forth about buying a soft side track tent with a hard shell topper, and just kept that out on my bucket list. A few weeks passed by and the price of the topper lowered to $50, and at that point it was no brainer, so I went ahead and bought it. I had previously removed all the windows at this point without realizing that I should have taped that. They're sitting at the table right on your screen waiting for the turn. The removal of the windows wasn't really interesting anyways. Just remove a bunch of screws, carefully remove the retaining trim from the inside, and slowly pry the actual frame with the window from the outside. The sealant silicone gave up fairly easy, which is what to expect on a topper this age. By the way, I am not certain what vehicle was designed for specifically, nor the manufacturing date, but I would like to say about 15 years old maybe. Maybe more, who knows. As you know, I own a 2016 Ram with the 8-foot bed. This one is not a perfect fit by any means, but I get the job done. The glass on the rear hatch of lead gate, it seemed that it was broken at a certain point in history, and one of the previous owners replaced it with a piece of acrylic and put some tint to it. But the tint wasn't really good, it was bubbling, so I decided to remove it completely and hopefully get a new thicker piece of plexiglass to put on, maybe one that is already tinted or smoked. The front window, which will be actually at the rear portion of the cab, was a solid piece of glass. It had several leaks, the rubber gasket was old and shrunk badly, overall in really bad shape. The side windows are sliders. I prefer to have those windows, those that hinge up open, but the problem is the price. Those are very expensive, and the idea of this project is to keep the minimum budget. So everybody will decide to can go ahead and replicate it without having to break the bank. Obviously, there is a lot of nicer and fancier options out there, but not everybody's ready to dish out that amount of money that many companies are asking for, at least not me. Here you can see me so far using an Orbital sander. This is more specifically a dual action sander. This model orbits and spins at the same time. That helps eliminate the marks of the sandpaper. I'm using 80 Grit Sandpaper, trying to remove all the clear coat or whatever is still attached to the topper, the top portion of the camper. When it's exposed to the sun for that long, then the clear coat came off already. It looks funny. It seems like when you look at it, like somebody put some paint or something and let it run, but it's actually the paint. Then decayed and eroded with the time as there is no floor to protect it. I remove all the decals. Actually, I don't even know if I'm going to attach them later or not, but I found it interesting to save them, at least as a souvenir. Either way, the topper had a bunch of scratches when I bought it. I had a few attachments, like a ladder rack or something made out of aluminum square tubing, which was obviously not professionally made, to be honest. The guy that sold me the topper had removed a portion of the rack and did a full patchwork on those areas, and maybe that's why you see me focusing on some parts more than the other when it comes to the sanding. The bottom mesh all the way around the topper like a hard rubber trim. It looks like a flexible plastic, but also was in bad shape. It was coming off in some areas, getting unglued, so it needed to be removed for the painting process. I used a little bit of I used a little blade and a lot of patience and care, removing any glue residue that was left behind. The dual action sander obviously cannot reach all the areas, so now it's time for me to change to manual sanding, hit all the small portions that are inaccessible by the machine. The first area sanded is with the Ryobi, which needs replacing. Now that I broke it, but it was in poor shape when I got the topper anyways. At this point, what we have here is a fiberglass shell with nothing else on it. Everything was removed for us to go ahead and get all the work done. Eventually I went with a finer sandpaper. I remember that one was 150 grit, and sanded over all the areas that I manually did with the 80 grit at the beginning. The idea of this finer sandpaper is to help remove scratches that we create with the 80 grit. When you do with an Orbital sander, as I said earlier, the machine will remove most of the marks, and as it randomizes the pattern. When you sand by hand, it will actually use muscle memory, back and forth motion, and you will create marks. Even if you don't try to, you will unconsciously repeat some patterns. Those scratches can be minimized by running some finer sandpaper and use a technique in Europe when I painted mega yachts. You see me there when I put my hands together, like if I'm praying, I'm actually trying to make a little roll of sandpaper into a small tube. With that, you try to grab it by the fingertips and move it back and forth in a very funny motion, but it will help you get all those crevices without many scratches. The coating that we're going to be using, it's very rough and it will adhere to pretty much anything and everything. Maybe there is no need to be super sneaky, but I got about 20 years experience in the painting industry and tend to go above and beyond what needed, and I try to do the right thing all the time. At this point I already finished all the sanding now, and I started rinsing the topper. I tried a push broom and I have around my wool cleaner brush, and they were both too stiff to remove the residue from the sanding. And yeah, go into my garage, grab my car cleaning tools and some degreaser. Actually that will be the black spray bottle that you'll see behind me. What's important here is to remove any and all dust that might stay there. When you're doing 80 grit sandpaper, leave creases large enough for all this dust and grime and grease to stay there. Degreaser will help remove all that grease, natural skin oils from sweat, etc. Once again, the idea is to remove any potential contaminants. Then you can from there. Obviously, the soap doesn't have any wax on it. That will define the purpose. You can go ahead and use regular dish soap. The idea is for the soap to help break the what's the name again? The surface tension of the water. There you go, making it more liquid, and that allows it to penetrate into such crevices and remove all the stuff out. And I spend a lot of time on the rinsing process. It's important to remove now the soap residue. Rinsing is important. You want to rinse and allow the water to run down the sides and pour more fresh water on it, doing a couple of cycles. I would say at least 3 or 4 cycles, depending on how you just scrub and rinse, and allowing the time for the water to run off. Just like keep throwing water, nothing's going to stay there, it's going to populate. So you want to rinse it, let it go, rinse it, let it go, and so on. At the end, when I was satisfied, I cleaned the floor and my feet. This is Florida and it was like 1,000,000 degrees outside that day, so a little bit of water wouldn't hurt, and it was actually enjoyable. On the top left, you'll be able to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so by clicking the RAM logo on the bottom right. You could check the latest video by hitting the link on the top right of the screen. If you like the video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button, or the other if you didn't. Feel free to comment, and please subscribe and click on the bell icon to enable notifications. By subscribing and commenting on the channel, it will help me and it will keep me motivated to bring out more videos soon. So thank you very much for watching, and until the next video will be. Thank you.